Hey everyone, this is Mitch Weissong. I am the owner of Bruiserbulldogs. We have been breeding English Bulldogs for 15 years. During that time, we've really strived to breed a Bulldog that is healthier, lighter wrinkle set, and breathes better. With me today is Mr. Wilbur. He is just a little bit over 1 year old. He's a prospective stud that we have. Many of you guys know this from our website who this is, but he is the son of Buddha, one of our top studs. And so we have a lot of hope for Mr. Wilbur. He is certainly not a finished product yet, and so that's what we're going to talk about today. Also with me is Declan. Say hi, Dec.
Hi.
Dec is 8, and he is my son, and he's going to be our assistant today. What I want to focus this video on is talking about what we do from a bloodline development standpoint. So a lot of you guys know we breed Bulldogs that are healthier, that breathe well, maybe a little bit deeper. Many of you don't know how we do that. I wanted to get into a little bit of the nitty gritty of how we actually go about that. The big word to remember is bloodline development. And so what that basically means is over the course of time, if you really invest in a certain perspective of breeding which for us is healthy breeding and good breathing capabilities and lighter wrinkle set, over the course of a lot of generations, you are able to micro-evolve your specific bloodlines as long as you stay principled and health test. And that's one of the things a lot of people don't realize how you actually get there. A lot of people ask questions like, how long have you been breeding? But they don't really know why that question is actually important. And the primary reason to have a lot of experience or have a lot of generations is predominantly bloodline development. And so we have today Mr. Wilbur. Like I said, he is a year old, and he's one of our future studs, hopefully. But there's a lot that goes into that. So I won't actually start investing and breeding a stud until they pass a series of health tests. So like the first thing that you want to do is make sure that your stud, when you're developing studs and bloodline development, you want to make sure that you are breeding from the correct bloodlines. And so, his parents, his mom is Nova, dad, like I said, is Buddha. Really, really elite bloodlines that bring a specific unique characteristic that we want. And you can kind of see in his facial structure. And this is something to remember. A 1-year-old Bulldog is never a finished product. And I tell that to people all the time. Bulldogs go through a really interesting time frame between like 6-7 months to like a year, where they go through some awkward stages. A lot of times, especially for a male, they'll grow. They're a little bit awkward. They're not super athletic. Their head size won't. Yeah, I'm talking about you. Your head size is not filled out. While he looks really good, it's all in the context that he's just a year old. What's going to happen from 1 to 2 years old is like his daddy. If you look at Buddha will have a wider head. This head is going to pop from a year to 2 years, and he's just going to bulk, which is, when you look at him right now, he's already big. So there is a lot of promise here. And I'm not saying big is the top priority for us. But it's something you look at. Like you want a Bulldog that, especially a male that has a lot of muscle, has a lot of head size. Head size is a big thing. But then also on the other side has the temperament and health to go with it. And so one of the things that we're going to look at with Wilbur today is the BOAS test. That is near and dear to my heart. Every single one of my studs has to be an elite breather, the capability to breathe. And that's a number of factors, right? It's your trach size. It's your tongue size and length. It's your palate length. It's how long your skeletal structure, your interior, how much surface area is there, the nostrils. And the first thing with a BOAS test, all of our studs will go through multiple BOAS. And so like one of the things with Wilbur at a year old, he's got to pass his BOAS test. And then we'll do it again at a year and a half and again at 2 years. So this is his initial test that we're going to take him through. The first starting point with the BOAS test is obviously good genetics, and you have to know the genetic history. You have to, from a phenotype standpoint, you have to know his health characteristics. We talked about that. Everything checks out right now. You can listen to how he's breathing, resting. That's the second step. There we go. So what you see is, even as he sits here, his resting, breathing, or panting is really good. before they see him. He's getting worked up right now because we're talking about him and he's here on the couch and things like that. But you can hear resting, panting. There's no catch in his breath. You can hear his trach is really clean. He has a lot of promise. He's trying to show himself off so he gets to be a stud at 2 years old. But the next step for a BOAS test, we're going to take him out there and we're going to do that right now. And we're also going to bring in an additional, we'll do another video with Kronk as well to kind of compare and contrast. But we're going to go out with Wilbur and we're going to go run him. So step one is just a resting observation. How is he looking? How is he acting? How does he pant when he's resting? How is he when he's just sitting here? And then the next step would be on a warm day, especially, how does he respond to 3-5 minutes of intense exercise? And I'm out there, and you guys know this. I don't do 3 to 5 minutes. I do 15 minutes of intense exercise, and then I want to see. I don't think 3 to 5 is enough. Fair enough. I'm grateful that there is a BOAS test. I'm grateful that they've set this up. But for our bloodlines in particular, I'm going to at least do 15 minutes to 20 minutes because to me, it always goes back to function. How far and how what is the normal time that you want your bulldog to be exercising in real life? And so why not test in that comparison rather than go 3 to 5 minutes? That's not nearly enough. If you're outside during a warm day, you want to be out and exercising for 20 minutes. And so that's our scale that we typically use. So the next step, we're going to go outside. That's where Det comes in. And we're going to work him over. We're going to run him. We're going to play some fetch, run down the lane. And then we will report back outside and then kind of report back how his breathing is at that point. And he's going to get hot. He's going to be tired. But that's what we want. We really want to push the limits to see how prospective stud like him is going to respond. And you guys are going to be able to see it. All right, Deck, are you ready? Okay, so it is about 84, 85 degrees. We have Declan and Wilbur. All right, Mr. Wilbur, time to exercise, buddy. Let's go. All right, so first starting point is going to be a walk. We're going to go about a half mile. If he has enough focus. Come on, Wilbur. He's breathing good, but he is showing that bulldog stubbornness. Come on, buddy. He finally decided he was going to participate in the BOAS. Wilbur, you coming, bud? He's going to take his time.
Almost made it. Almost. Almost there, Wilbur. You're almost there. And you're here.
All right, Wilbur, how are we sounding? All right, let's go, bud.
What do you think you said?
He's tired. All right, Wilbur, your time ready to go back? So one of the things that I have noticed, and even before this video, I knew this. There are certain dogs, you guys know, Pumbaa, even his dad Buddha, have like extreme get up and go capabilities. And one of the things that you see right off with Wilbur is he is really nice dog, really laid back. But if you're coming to me and you want a bulldog that is going to, super athletic, super elite, get up and go, immediately this is not the one, right? So you know that. He is more of a chill, and that's okay. There's a lot of people that want that. So it's like he has the physical capabilities to be that dog. His mental is much more chill. And that's okay. It's okay to be like that. But that is always in the notes. That is there it is. There it is. All right, well, were you ready to go back? That is always in the notes. And that is always in the observation is, do we want that? Is that the type of dog that we want in our breeding program? And a lot of times you want both. So not everybody wants a dog that hikes 10 miles. Everybody wants a healthy bulldog. And so, he's checking out, he's doing this BOAS, he's checking that out. You can still hear him breathe. He's breathing really well. Can you breathe for us? So he's breathing really well. Is he wanting to hike another 2 miles? No, he's not. And that's partly because of his age. He's a little stubborn. He's figuring things out. But it's always interesting watching these dogs, how their personality is, and some of them are get up and go dogs, and other ones breathing awesome. How we doing, Wilbur? How we doing? 85 degrees. We're about minute 18. He's hot, but he's still breathing. So what you look for is really that catch. If you listen to him, it's clean. There's not a catch. So a bulldog, I'm going to turn this. So like a bulldog that is, having issues with their palate, they will either make a catching sound, or if their trach is small, you're going to hear it. You can actually hear it, symptomatic. Not everything is clinical. A lot of times you actually have to take the dog out. And so in that sense, like, he is doing awesome right now. We're going to go back to the house. We will let him settle down and then kind of do like a post walk, post exercise analysis. So Wilbur says, no more BOAS. Wilbur, you're doing so good. Like, we're 25 minutes in. You're breathing awesome. No more BOAS. Wilbur's on strike. You ready to go more? You're doing so good, dude. Your breathing is so awesome. Wilbur says no more. All right, we'll check back at the house. All right, so we are post exercise. How'd it go, Deck?
I'm more tired than Wilbur. I think I am.
It's hot out. Did the 15-20 minutes of exercise. We hiked the half mile. Came back. Like I said, it's like mid 80s, low to mid 80s. Did like a series of, I like to go intense sprints, high level exercise, and then also some longevity and mix it in together. Like I said, normal BOAS testing is 3 to 5 minutes. I think that's, quite frankly, like ridiculously slow. Our small sample size, I want to go at least 15 to 20. What you see, and you pick some of this up in the video that we'll feed back, but his breathing's awesome. Super clean, like elite breathing. He gets those from his dad and mom. That's one of the things we know already. We've already done his health tests and things like that. We've, done CT scan. We've looked at his palate. It's ridiculously short. Trachea is ridiculously big. So those things are elite. But the next thing that goes into my head, and I like just to be transparent with this, I don't know if I will keep him in our breeding program. He will obviously always have a home with us. But am I going to breed him? I don't know yet. And that's how picky I am with our dogs. And that's something that with bloodline development, you have to be able to separate the dog that you love with your breeding program. And so like, I am ruthlessly efficient with our breeding program and our criteria that must be met, especially with my studs. They have to be world-class in the things I care about. And as you guys know, the things I care about are breathing, muscle tone, athleticism, and the correct personality. He checks off some of those boxes. There are some things that are yet to be determined. One of the things, and you pick this up in our video, I don't like his lack of get up, right? His motor is low. Now, to be quite fair, there's a lot of you guys out there that like that, right? And I think there's always a place for that in our breeding program. I just don't want too much of that, because one of the things that I really appreciate about a Bruiser Bulldog in our bloodline development is that ability that a large majority of our Bulldogs really have that ability to go on that 2-mile hike. And quite frankly, you saw he shut down at like a half a mile. I don't personally like that. That's not my vibe. I want my Bulldog to at least be able to go to mile and a half. It's yet to be determined. This is the thing. You never fully know until you get to like a year and a half. He might be going through like teenage drama. We don't know, right? Right now, we know there's a little blip in his personality that he's not wanting to go, right? That doesn't mean that, that's forever. And we will see. But that's one of the important things with bloodline development is you have to be really, really picky, and you never start breeding until you fully understand what that dog is and, what it's going to be as an adult. And that's why you wait, you keep testing, you keep observing, you keep analyzing until about 2 years old, and then you truly know. And so that wanted to give you guys a little bit of video on what bloodline development actually looks like. It's not fast. We're on our 7th generation of doing this. And that's what makes us really special, is because we have done this generation after generation, 15 years on repeat. And that's how you gradually move your bloodlines into something special, into something elite, if you're that picky on every generation. This guy, Mr. Wilbur, is yet to be seen. You will not be seeing him breeding any of our dogs yet, and it's yet to be determined if he ever will. But I wanted to shed light on actually investing. This is one of the things you see with us. Our price point is higher, but it is a lot of times because I will invest $15,000, $20,000 in a dog like this and eventually decide that we're not going to use him because he doesn't pass all of our health criteria. And so that's one of the things that a lot of people don't see on the back end, just the pickiness and what it actually takes to be a part of our breeding program. And I wanted to shed a little bit of light on this. If you see this guy in our breeding program in, a couple years, you'll know he made it. You'll know he developed into what I wanted. If not, he's still going to get an awesome home. He'll still be loved. That's where you separate the Bulldog from the breeding program. In the end of the day, he's going to have a happy life either way, but we're going to really protect our bloodline development and our breeding program because that's what is truly special. Thank you. And thanks for watching this video.